Have you seen this chart right here? Take a look at this fractal pattern. Bitcoin is about to do something for the first time since this 2015 fractal pattern. You can see Bitcoin is finally holding support on top of this green channel, but we've done it in every single market cycle dating back to 11 years ago. What Bitcoin likes to do is it gets above this green pan here, it holds support for between 150 and 200 days, and then it explodes. It did it in 2012, it did it in 2015, it even did it in 2020. Right now, Bitcoin is holding support. Is it going to continue holding support on this green line for the next 100 days and then explode? We're going to break it down in today's video based on all of the facts. Welcome if you're new to the channel. My name is Steve. You're gonna love it here. We do it different here. We focus only on the facts. Hit that subscribe button. Let's jump straight into it. Now, we're gonna be breaking this down because this chart is phenomenal and it has so many clues. Is Bitcoin going to spend the next 100-ish days holding support on this green line right before a very major breakout? That would be precisely the exact same thing that it's done for the past 11 years. So if that were continue, where would it put Bitcoin at? When would the price explode, and explode to where? Now, as we jump into it, we have the bear market bottom, bull market top. This is our custom indicator. Everyone in the FFA has this for free. This is a clean chart. You won't be able to get it online, but I'm going to show you, I'm going to break it down, and you're going to leave this video with everything you need to know. I also want to mention at the end of the video, I'm going to give a trading tip to you that's going to help you literally for the rest of your life. So stay tuned for that later in the video. I also want to mention that on Wednesday, I'm going to be doing the second live video of the past 5 years. In the past 5 years, I've only done one other live video. I'm going to do my second ever live video this Wednesday, and it's going to be exclusively for everyone in the FFA. I will see you guys there. Now, as we get into this chart, it's phenomenal of what Bitcoin is doing. And it's precisely on schedule that we spent a very large amount of days inside of this green channel. And now we're just in the stage of our market cycle where we're getting out of this green channel and starting to hold it as support. Keep in mind, it was our support prior, and then we broke it, and then it was our resistance for quite a while, and now it's our support. But as we look back in history, Bitcoin has done this exact same fractal pattern for the past 11 years. So we've got to start way back in the glory days of 2012. So join me in our journey back to 2012. Now, here we are, right? We had this large run up. We started our crazy descent in Bitcoin and plummeted in prices back down into our green channel. And then once we got out of this green channel, this was our breakout candle. This was our confirmation candle back in January of 2012. We held as support literally for 140 days before skyrocketing to this white line. Now, keep in mind, before we skyrocketed, price was at about $5, and then it went all the way up to 15. So it more than tripled. This is a big move in its market cycle. So it takes a lot of momentum to come out of a bear market and move into a bull. This was phase one of the bull market back in 2012. Now, if you watch my videos for many months, I've been saying Bitcoin is going to enter the bull run in 2023. And once 2023 started, Bitcoin is up somewhere 90%. We are in phase one of the bull run. We are in this phase right here of our market cycle. And the more you understand about it, the better that we will be as traders, as disciplined traders and investors, okay? So 2012, phase one, holding support before exploding, before tripling in price. Keep in mind, this was a triple in price in phase one, not a triple from the bottom, which is very key. If we fast forward to 2015, we say, okay, what was similar? What was different about this market cycle? Well, it was very similar to 2012, right? We had our market cycle top peak out at the red, which again, it peaked out at the red. We came back through this white line. We crashed down inside of this green channel for quite a while. We had bottom one, bottom two in the green channel. And once we finally broke above the green channel, our breakout candle was right here in October. And this was our confirmation candle. And we held as support for about 200 days before rising in prices again up to this white line is what we did. This was phase one of the bull run of 2015. This was our market bottom one. This was our second market bottom. This was the rally from about 167 up to 509. Just an amazing run. That run brought us out of the bear market into phase one of the bull run. And that is where we had hit the pause button. We built some market structure before continuing the bull. It's precisely the same as 2012. So as we move forward, 2019, what was similar? What was different? Well, Bitcoin ran up. We ran down here. We came inside of the green channel. By the way, the green channel is the best time to buy Bitcoin of your entire life. Plain and simple. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. The problem is, anytime you get into the green channel, everybody on earth, including Grandma Betty, is going to be screaming Bitcoin is going down a lot further. It never does. It stays right inside of the green channel, right on schedule, right on cue. So green channel, best time to buy. Once we came out of that in 2019 was a bit of a different cycle. This was an A, B, C correction. We saw market bottom one here, market bottom two here. We had this large rally in between. We were trying to hold as support here. We just couldn't. We were trying to hold as support here. We just couldn't. So this was not a traditional cycle. But once we ended that COVID crash, once we finally got out of the green channel and we broke above here, this was our breakout candle in March. And then April was our confirmation candle. And then April started this run of 160 days holding support on this green line before we ran up to the white line. Keep in mind, every single market cycle, we had this period of 150, 200 days of holding support on this green line before rallying to the white line. It happened in 2012 before rallying to the white line. 2015 before rallying to the white line. Even right here, 2020, before rallying to the white line, we had to hold support on top of this green channel. This is phase one of the bull in every single cycle, okay? Now, here we are, present day. Bitcoin ran up, got rejected from this red line. We came down and held support in this green channel. Again, anytime you get into this green channel, it's the best time to buy. However, every single human on earth, well, not every single, it was about 80, 85% when we got here said we were going substantially lower. We never did. And then when we got here, they said the same thing, that we were going substantially lower, and we just didn't. We're inside this green channel, right on schedule, right on cue, just like every other cycle. This fractal pattern is very, very, very similar to 2015. Do you see what I'm seeing? We're inside, we have bottom one, we have bottom two inside of this green channel. We have bottom one, bottom two inside of this green channel. The run from the bottom of this channel up here was legendary. That literally dragged Bitcoin out of the bear into the bull. That's what just happened. This rally from about 15.5K up to about 31, that was huge. That's a huge, huge rally. And that is the rally that dragged Bitcoin out of this gruesome bear market into phase one of the bull. And here we are, right? This was our breakthrough candle right here in March 13th. And this was our confirmation candle. March 27th candle was that first one that was in here. So we have to ask the question, what would it look like if Bitcoin spent 150 days holding support on this line before rallying up? What would it look like? What would it feel like? What kind of date would that put us at? What kind of price is the white line currently? And can we reach the white line, right? We barely got above the white line here, and can we reach it? Another key about the white line, this indicator is so phenomenal. Once you get above the white line, that is phase two of the bull, where you have the parabolic top. Case in point, look at any market cycle. Once we got above the white line here, that's when prices went parabolic. They went parabolic here. And as soon as we break down through the white line, it's over. It's all she wrote. That was our parabolic top. It's done. Look at our 20K top, right? As soon as we got above the white line, we were at $2,000, and then we went up to 20. That's our parabolic top. That's our phase two once we get above this white line. Case in point here, once we got above the white line, we were at about 28K. We went all the way up to almost 70. The white line is critical. I'm going to give my take. Do I think we're going to get up to this white line or above it, which is at 81K at the moment? Because keep in mind, the past cycles were 150, 200 days, 150, 200 days, 150, 200 days. What's that look like for Bitcoin? Because so far we've been really following this fractal pattern of 2015. So right now, how many days have we been on here? We're at about 1 month and we haven't closed this candle. So we're not yet 1 month. If we project forward, what would that look like for Bitcoin? Now, 150, 200 days, we're looking at August kind of time frame, middle of August, potentially being still holding some type of support on this green line, building the proper market structure for that next phase of the bull run. So mid-August is what it's looking like according to the facts in this chart. Now, there are some other facts that definitely back up what we're showing here, that we're in sort of this phase one of the bull run where it's slow, it's methodical, it's not that explosion that everyone really is dreaming about, but it's building the proper market structure to have a healthy bull run. And that's what this phase is all about. If we look for specific clues, it gets very, very interesting because you could see 2015 holding support for quite some time. The green line starts to rise. So right now, our green line has been falling. Our green line is currently at roughly 27K. It's going to start rising in these coming months. And that means good news for Bitcoin. What we can also see is in these past cycles, we've never fallen from holding support into it. The only time was 2019 when we didn't follow any rules because it was an ABC correction. It was a complete flush out. The market really needed it. So we held support for moments here, breaking down. Again, we never got up to this white line. We didn't follow any parameters of our past cycles. So this was a complete disaster. So this structure here that we've had in this cycle is a lot cleaner and it's a lot better for the longevity and the health of this bull run that I believe has just started, right? If you watch my channels, we called for a mega crash starting at 48K way long ago last year. And then we called bottom one, bottom two here. And then we've called that we're in phase one of the bull. We started saying middle of last year that 2023 was going to be the start of the bull run. And everyone spread a bunch of hate about that. But Bitcoin is up 90% since the start of 2023. And we have clearly entered phase one of the bull. So here we are. It's slow. It's methodical. So what should you do? What should you do if you haven't bought Bitcoin yet? If you're still waiting for us to potentially plummet all the way down here and you're waiting to buy in there, what should you do? Here's what I'll say. Your mindset is not correct in Bitcoin. If you're still on the sidelines, then you haven't trusted your strategy yet. That means you probably don't have a strategy. If you don't have a strategy, you're in big trouble. You need a strategy. Either you get one from me by taking my courses or you go get one for yourself somewhere on the internet. You have to have a strategy. Now, once you have a strategy, you have to follow it no matter what. But if you're still on the sidelines now and Bitcoin is up here holding as support and you understand where we are, the worst case scenario is that in the next 1 to 2 years, Bitcoin could fall back down to retest its base. Why do we say that? Well, that's what we did in 2019. So it's not out of the question for us to have bottom one here and then literally 2 years later, have another bottom. We've already had our double bottom. We could have a triple bottom. So it's not out of the question 1 or 2 years from now to retest its base. So if you look at that as kind of the worst case scenario, and then you look at your upside potential, there's a lot. You look at your risk reward, you're looking really good, right? It's clear as day. If you're still on the sidelines, this is a great time to enter the market. This is phase one of the bull run. I can't make it any clearer than I just did. This is not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor, but this is the advice I would give to anybody who's looking for advice, right? There's no better time than the moment we're living in. Now, I want to get to a trading tip that will help you tremendously, literally for the rest of your life. Now, there's one thing that becomes clear as you study human psychology with money as long as I have. I've been studying human psychology with money literally longer than I've been studying the charts. I've been studying the charts since I was 16. I'm 38 now. So I'm about to break something down to you that'll be very powerful for you to take with you for the rest of your life. Now, I've been inside the struggling part. Both of my parents dropped out of high school. My mom had me when she was 18. She had my sister when she was 16. We struggled with welfare. I know what it's like to struggle. That's how I grew up, struggling. Now, as a struggling person early in the days, what we focused on was like today. How are we going to get money today? How are we going to eat today? Everything was like today. So when if you're struggling, or you know someone is struggling, you know they're only focused today. That's their only focus. Middle class people, they're focused this month. Hey, how am I going to get my finances ready for this month and pay these bills this month? Everything is this month or this week for middle class. For people who are millionaires are always focused on next year. All right. And billionaires are always focused on the next decade. All right. That's how you can break down humans in a simple way. Trading is the same. Here's what I mean. If you're focused on what Bitcoin is doing today or tomorrow, you're in that struggling category where people are like, how am I going to eat today? How am I going to live today? I don't want you to have that mindset. If you're a middle class trader, you're focused on this month. Okay, which is good, but you can do better. This month is still, if you follow my channel, I could care less about what Bitcoin's going to do today or tomorrow. I never cover that. Unfortunately, I have to cover like what Bitcoin is going to do this next month, even though I also don't care. But I cover it for you so you have that knowledge. But I want something to click. I want a light bulb moment to happen right now, because struggling people focus on today, middle class people focus on this week or this month, millionaires focus on the next year, billionaires focus on the next 10. That's a fact. Can't argue that. But with trading, it's the same. I want you to focus on the millionaire mindset. Millionaire mindset is focused on the next year. If you focus on the next year of Bitcoin and you're like, what is Bitcoin going to do this next year? It becomes very clear what you should do. It removes all the stress. It removes all of the agony. You have a clear mission, a clear focus. What's not to like about that? And then if you take it up another level, the next 10 years, if you want to really up your mindset, focus on only the next 10 years. For example, there's always a fire sale once a decade. And if you have your funds moved in the proper way to execute the fire sale that happens every 10 years, you're going to have more money than you know what to do with. That's a fact. I want you to change your perspective, and that will change your results. So hopefully what I just said to you is like, oh man, maybe I should, every 10 years, the stock market has a fire sale. Crypto will have 2 fire sales per decade. And if you focus on having those fire sales of when we get down into this green channel, and you only focus there, and you just buy a crap load whenever we get in here, just close your eyes, you buy, you're going to look like a superhero. And then you're not worried about what Bitcoin is doing later today. You're not stressed out what it did next week. You're not going crazy about next month it made this rally or plummet. You could care less. You have a longer term mindset, which will bring you substantially less stress and substantially more money. It will feel almost illegal. I want to leave you with that mindset. Let me know in the comments down below. I'll see you right back here in the next video. Shout out to everybody in the FFA. Live video coming Wednesday. My second ever live video in the past 5 years. My first live video was also in the FFA just a handful of weeks ago. So if you don't have exclusive access in the FFA, you got to figure out how to get there, because that's where you're going to really substantially shift your life towards having an understanding of how to achieve financial freedom. There's going to be nothing like it in the world. We combine crypto and financial freedom. It's all of the things I'm the most passionate about in this world, and it's going to be a game changer. It'll be a life changer. So I'll see everybody there. Peace and love to the fellow underdogs. I'll see you in the next video. Do you want to know when to buy and when to sell? Click this video right now.